bring back the dowry. We should bring back the dowry, you guys. Not that I believe that anybody should be getting married, honestly. I know it is too dangerous for the men, but if it wasn't, just let's pretend. What if the bride's father sweetened the pot and put, I don't know, a little money there? Since you're, taking on the responsibility of a wife. And where we left off, because this is part 2, the question was, why we have prenups to protect the man's assets, but we don't have a dowry to come into the marriage, which is brilliant. The It's Complicated channel interviews people on the street, and the questions are just laser focused and so intelligent that it really gets people thinking and having to, really look at the way we do things in life. And man, the women struggle. They struggle just a bit with it, but it is so revealing. So let's get right into part 2. Welcome back to Far From Eden. Okay, so like I said, we just had the whole dowry prenup question with our fine Mr. Indian friend here.
Yeah, it's interesting. The richer you get, the more likely you are to want to sign a prenup, right? Because you're not sure if she really likes you for you. Although I don't think I ever would.
Kim Kardashian.
In case you didn't see part 1, that is the one I refer to as Babyface. And he never would. He'd never ask a woman for that. He's exactly what you would expect to see. And I don't know, the young adults group in church. And he's got the woman on the pedestal, and he's never going to expect anything. Because after all, women are sugar and spice and all things nice, especially the ones in the church.
Would probably make someone sign a prenup, but would I? Probably not. But it's just one of those things. Like I said, I haven't really been exposed to prenups and dowries, so it's a bit foreign. It's a foreign concept to think about.
Yeah, so just don't think about it. I mean, I've never thought about it before, so I'm not going to start now. This is why I don't have a lot of female friends.
If you get married, get a prenup.
Oh, no, you can't get a prenup because it invalidates the sacrament.
Really?
Yeah, a marriage is fully giving of yourself to the other person, no strings attached.
You don't even
Prenup's a big
believe in
string.
prenups?
Certainly not.
If a prenup invalidates the sacrament of marriage, why aren't dowries a better option than prenups?
Dowries back in the day were definitely a better option to keep a household stable, but nowadays, if a female were to give a dowry to a male, it could easily be taken once the divorce happens. So a prenup would be much better to make it so the male does not lose anything from being blind to love.
Why not both? And the whole sacrament thing, Michael Knowles, I understand that marriage is a sacrament. I do. Michael Knowles, how does government being in charge of it not invalidate the sacrament? That I'd like an answer to. I would really, really like an answer to it. How is a prenup going to invalidate the sacrament, but the divorce courts, the family courts, all of that don't? The fact that the same institution that says you are now married, the government, can also say you are now divorced? I'd like to sit down with Michael Knowles myself, knowing a little bit about religion and a lot about, the realities of life and what men face. I'd like to give it right back to him in that space. You guys, get me on his show somehow.
Why does our society still push traditional marriage, expecting men to pay 100% of the bills, to put the woman in her feminine energy?
Because women don't want to worry about that. We don't want to be worrying about the financial stuff. We want to be beautiful. We want to be stand by you. We want to be our trophies. We want to be beautiful in our presence. We don't want to feel like what you feel like on the regular.
The entitlement. Because we don't wanna. And that's my argument. We don't wanna. So there.
We are emotional creatures, so we want to feel, then actually think logically.
Why are
Is she saying that's a bad thing? Or that just is? And so get over it, guys. Run away from relationships like this. Run away from marriage or anything that can entrap you that way. And make sure, if you decide to get into a relationship, you know what she really thinks about things like this. And if you don't feel like you can have a deep conversation and ask her tough questions, then you have your answer. Because if she won't engage in those sorts of, difficult topics and things that really make you go, okay, no, that's not right and that's not fair. Run fast, veto.
are modern men told they shouldn't care about a woman's money when men have been taking dowries for centuries?
I just think they're being told this so that women can get into marriages easier and have a little bit easier lives because, as they say, they're victims. But
I love this guy. I want to know more about you. I want to know how you learn this stuff. I want to know about your mother. What did you learn from that whole situation? I really want to know more about this guy because out of all the men on this video so far, he knows what's up. He definitely knows what's up. And generally speaking, unfortunately, you guys learn the hard way in one way or another, either by going through it through your parents or yourself. Like this guy, yeah, he knows what's up.
in reality, it would be much better if it was still a thing today where men actually cared about a woman's financial stability and what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
I personally am not as concerned about, my partner's financial position because I'm financially independent, but I can see how that is important to someone else.
You should be worried, dude. You should worry about all of this. This poor guy. He needs one of y'all to talk to him. He really does. Or I'll talk to him, whatever. He needs an intervention. He's gonna get destroyed.
King Henry VIII and Julius Caesar took dowries. Were those men not masculine?
Oh, they probably were.
So why are we told that real men have to pay all the bills, otherwise you're not a real man?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, even
He never answers those questions. He just says, that's a good point. Dude, engage in the thing. Realize you are wrong. Sorry, my mothering instincts are coming out for that poor dude.
though I said a few minutes ago that as a society we've gone towards both genders being equal and both being, having worked towards taking care of the family, I think we're still there where, if I were to go to a restaurant with a date, I'd still pay for it, right? So men are still to some degree seen as a financial provider.
They're seen as a work mule out on the plantation. That's how they're seen, sir. They're seen that they have to do all these things, and the same is not true for us. And I wish it's okay, you guys, men, it is okay to say that. It's okay to realize it. It's right there in front of our faces. 1 + 1 is 2. It's okay to say 1 + 1 is 2. It doesn't even mean that you feel any kind of way about it. You can just say the truth. That's where it's going to start. But they're so hesitant because they're so indoctrinated, and indoctrinated from their own men in their lives who raised them. Yeah, it's your job to go out there and be the mule on the plantation. It's your job. If you were a real man, you know, you'd be that mule and you'd let him just work you till you dropped. No. You know what? I'll say it. If we're talking about what a real man does, how about this? How about a real man says, F that, I'm not doing that. What if a real man said, no, you're not going to treat me like that? No, I'm going to have expectations and standards too. What if we redefined it and said, that's what real men are? How about real men don't allow themselves to be taken advantage of? What if we just changed it, since we're out here saying what real men are and what real men should be and blah, blah, blah? If women are out there saying that, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say a real man's going to look you in your face, woman, and tell you, no, I won't be treated like that. I'm walking away. That's why women hate MGTOW. And guys like Babyface guy over here hates the idea of it too. He'll shame you too. But let's talk about what real men do. Real men say, no, you're not going to make me your work mule. I've got my own agenda. If you'd like to come along with my agenda, all right, what are you bringing? And men are finally saying that. I'm here for it. And they're not bringing anything. So men are like, all right, I'll do my own thing. Good.
That hasn't fully changed, but maybe a decade later that might change as well, where that question might sort of become irrelevant.
Why does our society still push traditional marriage, expecting men to pay 100% of the bills when women are working?
Yeah, as I said, that is slowly changing. There are women who feel offended if the men pays for the bill. So I suppose a decade from now it's kind of becoming all sort of a gray area.
The answer was, why is it like that? Not describe also what it's like. They will not engage with it. They will not say, yeah, that's messed up. That's not okay. That's unfair to us. They won't say it. It's awful. And that is why y'all aren't allowed to say it.
Why did women contribute more when they weren't working, but contribute less now that they are working?
I don't know if they're contributing less when they're working, right? Because I think both genders have stepped up in a family to take care of kids, the house, the kitchen, all of that stuff. The woman is out working now as well. So I think if I look at my own family, we're both contributing to the betterment of the family. So I would say I don't think they've stepped down. They've in fact, if anything, both the genders have stepped up.
Well, why is it often
No.
her money is her money, but his money is our money?
Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to the financial aspect of the relationship, a man wants to still have to feel like they're the leader. So that's why they came up with the rule: your money go be your.
They feel like they're the leader, but I don't think she's gonna let them. She'll let them pay for everything and feel like they're the leader while she's running the show. A lot of you guys know that I've been an equestrian my whole life, trained horses and stuff. And I've worked with Arabian horses. They're the smartest of all the horses, okay? And I know that the best way to train a horse is to make them think it's their idea, because then you're not in an argument with them. Women know this when they are trying to get what they want from him. Make him think it's his idea. I've actually heard women say this. So have him pay for everything. Let him think he's the leader by, doing your female, hypnosis, manipulation to make him think it's his idea that he wants to do A, B, or C. Whatever choice you have. And it's just trickery. You know who does a lot of trickery? Witches.
Your money and my money gonna be our money. It's still giving the man the control that they want.
Do women want to be independent while also being provided for? And if so, who's more delusional in their wants?
Yes, I can speak to that myself. I want to be independent, but I also want to be baby. I think it's the security blanket of knowing if you have someone that's financially stable, in the event that you don't or something goes wrong, they could help you.
We don't want the pressure on us. I'm telling you guys, this is the truth. We want to be able to go out there and work and feel like we're, doing our thing and we're like, woohoo, we're strong and independent. But we don't want the pressure on us to where if we fail, then, oh my gosh, we're going to be homeless and have no health insurance and all these things. We want the stability of the man to where that all falls on him. So if something goes terribly wrong with our job or what have you, it's okay. So you look at that and you go, well, are we just kind of playing then? Isn't it kind of like Barbie? Veterinarian Barbie. Recent things in the news, space Barbie. Because it's not really the responsibility of having to stay at that job no matter what, no matter how the conditions change, no matter if you get a terrible boss, no matter if you have some kind of a health thing, but you still have to work. All these pressures that men have as the, provider, even when the women work, they don't shoulder that, no matter what we say. So they're confessing it. We always confess. Just have to pay attention.
Do you think men fully understand the risks of marriage, or do they
No.
overlook them in pursuit of love?
No, I think
Yes.
men know the risk. They definitely know the risk today.
She's talking about, the men in her community, they definitely do. I think more so. I think, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's kind of where the whole red pill about marriage and stuff like that, I think that's where it might have started. So she knows that the men that she's looking at are definitely like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. You're just going to leave me and, take my kids and all the rest of it. But babyface guy in the other parts of the video, he does not. He is in denial about it.
They definitely overlook them in the pursuit of love. I see a lot of relationships end in horrible divorces with men losing a lot of their money because they were blind to love or blind to their attraction to the female.
Yep.
Now that I have 2 kids and 2 boys, like I know men are slightly less emotionally smarter, to be honest. So I would say, yeah, they're not, yeah.
Men are emotionally smart. What they are not aware of is feminine wiles. They're not aware that some of us lure you guys with that. Because we know you're susceptible to attraction. So that's the lure. I can prove it. How into it she is before marriage versus how into it she is after marriage. And of course, I'm talking about the hanky-panky, bedroom fun, whatever euphemism you want to use.
We probably do prioritize love over all those other thoughts.
Have men been blinded by love, or is love more important than the financial reality of sustaining a 25+ year marriage?
I would say on aggregate, I would assume that men are blinded by love, would be my guess.
At what point in history did marriage work the best?
I think back in the 50s, maybe in the 50s and the 60s.
For whom? Because for women, she's right. That was soft life. Soft life. So, do you notice that? At what point in time did marriage work the best? She's not even thinking about for him. It's just for her. Pay attention to what they say. They confess everything.
When the men were working and the women were at home.
Did traditional marriage exist before the 1950s? And if so, why does that seem to be everyone's model when the arrangement was completely different throughout history?
I don't even know about marriage before the 1950s.
They don't want you to. They don't want you to. They don't want you to. Because that is when we were supposed to contribute. That's why we don't know anything about it. We don't learn about it. It's not in any movies. They don't want men to know, because then men might have expectations and standards. They don't want women to know because they want women to keep thinking, hey, I should get what I want because I want. That's why. She's not even going to realize why she doesn't know anything pre-1950s, housewife, soft life.
I think that's what they put in our faces. Like, that was the time when it was more on television, more people wanted to be married because that's what they put in front of us.
That's a great question. Traditional marriage was very different back 1800s, 1700s. Beyond that, it was a very different tradition than how it is nowadays. I think it's just changed significantly because media has corrupted people to the point where they just follow other people's opinions instead of following actual traditions or themselves.
And if someone's going to sit here and shame me for not wanting to be a provider, I don't give a damn. Sorry. You know what I mean? Now let's go look at the dowry system and see how it used to be. Oh, you're bringing nothing. No, then yeah, I'm not going to be the primary breadwinner. You're going to have to bring something. I don't give a damn. I'm very comfortable here in whatever the hell masculinity happens to be. The fact is you're not getting a free ride. All right. So that's just that's what men need to be like on that level. In fact, you're not a real woman if you're not bringing nothing. All right. A real woman would be able to do that. I mean, really, this gives us the ability to completely turn around and mirror their BS right back at them if we want.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But also, like, what is going to be the reaction from women to what he said? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say that to me? How dare you tell me what a real woman should be when I'm going to sit here and tell you everything about what I think a real man should be? The double standards are just overwhelming. And they hate when you point it out. They do. It's inconvenient. It doesn't make us look good. That's why I love it. It's so revealing. I enjoy when women tell on themselves. And I hope you enjoy when I point it out and explain what they're actually revealing, or at least confirm it. Anyway, thank you for watching this. And if you haven't seen part 1, check that out from yesterday. I will see you guys later for the fairy tale. Don't even know which one it is yet, because you never know. We're going to be surprised at who knows what kind of journey we'll take. It's always fun. But until then, even though it's only going to be a few hours, protect your peace. Feed your souls. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.